Welcome to the Young Crones Cafe, where you can get a magic brew full of all sorts of information, both witchy and practical.
Grab a cup of coffee and join us. I'm Elizabeth, a wordsmith.
And I'm Dave, a modern-day sage.
We are going to talk about various witchcraft and life topics from a slightly more mature perspective, at least most of the time.
Thanks for joining us.
Here's a little something extra from the Young Crones Cafe to get you through until our next regularly scheduled episode. The autumnal equinox is coming up, and in keeping with our new focus of a year of walking the path, I'm going to share a recipe that I tend to bake for both equinoxes for lemon poppy seed bread. And I would attribute this recipe to my mom. I don't know where she got it from, but it's been in our family for a while. And we have come to associate this bread with the equinoxes. The balance of the light lemon color of the bread and the dark of the poppy seeds not only represents the balance visually, but when combined to make a satisfyingly balanced flavor. So for lemon poppy seed bread, for the bread, you need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 tablespoons of poppy seeds, 2.5 cups of white sugar, 1 1/8 cups of vegetable oil, 3 eggs, 1.5 cups of milk, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1.5 teaspoons of lemon extract. Now, preheat the oven to 350 degrees and grease 3 8x4-inch bread pans. So you're actually making 3 loaves of this bread at a time. In a large mixing bowl, stir together the flour, salt, baking powder, poppy seeds, and the 2.5 cups of white sugar. In other words, all your dry ingredients. Now in a smaller bowl, combine the vegetable oil, egg, milk, and extracts. Now add them to the dry ingredients. Mix together until smooth, about 1 minute. Pour the batter evenly into your 3 prepared pans. Now, bake for about 50 to 55 minutes or until a pick, such as a toothpick, inserted into the center of the loaves comes out clean. Cool the loaves in the pans for 10 minutes before removing them to a wire rack to finish cooling. In the meantime, assemble your glaze. The glaze ingredients are 1/4 cup of orange juice, 3/4 cup of white sugar, I know that's a lot, and 1/2 teaspoon of lemon extract. You're just going to combine the orange juice, the sugar, and the lemon extract and mix together well. Now pour this mixture over the loaves while they are still hot. I recommend when you move them to the wire rack to cool, is a great time to do this. Just make sure you put something under your wire rack, otherwise you will have glaze all over the table or kitchen counter or wherever your wire rack has been placed. Now allow the loaves to cool completely before serving. This sugary orange glaze hardens as the bread cools, adding a nice crunch to the top of this moist loaf. Now that I've read this whole thing, I've frantically been trying to write down the ingredients and the instructions. We've created a link. All you have to do is go to youngcronescafe.com/lemon poppy seed bread recipe. That's youngcronescafe.com/lemon poppy seed bread recipe. And with that, please enjoy the upcoming equinox. Try the poppy seed recipe if you want. Works great for, as I said, an equinox focus, or you could actually use it for any kind of full moon ritual if you wanted, associated with magic that requires extra balance to make it all work out. So with that being said, may you find mirth and reverence in all things, and we'll see you at our next episode. It looks like the coffee cups are empty for this week. We hope you join us again next Tuesday, but you can find us at our website, 2youngcrones.com. That's the number 2, Young
Crohn's.
We'd love to have you join our growing online Discord community. Check out our new Patreon presence. Just look for Young Crohn's Cafe. Through Patreon, you'll be able to make it to our Discord. We are also Young Crohn's Cafe on Twitter and Facebook.
Until then, remember, we are witches who work with energies to effect change.
We are believers in both immanent and transcendent divine.
We are celebrants of the passage of the solar and lunar cycles.
We are hedge walkers who pass back and forth between the worlds of the magical and the mundane.
We are seekers of knowledge.
And we are walkers of a spiritual tradition we call the Path.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.